let the soft voice fool you. Don't confuse peace with passivity. Healing got layers, and this soul got teeth. Welcome to Blended Healing. Let's begin. She don't do halves, it's all a relief. Blends the bomb and the burn makes you breathe. Got sage in the left, truth in the right. She'll cleanse your name and still read you on sight. Little bit hood, little bit high priestess. Downloads wisdom, then teaches and preaches. Pain to power, root to crown. Try to test that spirit, you'll fuck around and find out. Your soul got teeth, don't come here fake. She'll see through your mask and mirror the ache. She the calm in the storm, the yes and the no. Got grace in her hands and fire in her flow. This soul got teeth, don't play in a space. This love is real, it don't wear lace. You wanna act wild, you gon' find out now. Cause healing ain't sweet when it's calling you out. She been through hell and came back gold. Didn't just survive, she broke the mold. Knows what it takes to rise from the mess, but don't expect peace if you come here stressed. She'll align your chakras, hold space, then dip. Pray over your name, then tighten her grip. You either come real or get cleared out. Spirit don't play, neither does Michelle now. I light candles, and I call in light. But don't forget I've seen the night. This ain't performative, this ain't for show. You either grow with me, or you gotta go. This soul got teeth, don't come here fake. She'll see through your mask and mirror the ache. She the calm in the storm, the yes and the no. Got grace in her hands and fire in her flow. This soul got teeth, don't play in a space. This love is real, it don't wear lace. You wanna act wild, you gon' find out now. Cause healing ain't sweet when it's calling you out. Healing ain't soft, it's sacred. It's sharp, and this soul got teeth.
Your voice isn't just sound traveling through air. It's the living echo of your soul's truth. It's the part of you that remembers who you were before the world told you to be quiet, before shame taught you to second guess your own knowing, before trauma made you bite your tongue to survive. You know your voice is sacred, right? It's the rawest, most intimate access point to your spirit. Every time you speak, you're not just forming sentences, you're transmitting energy, opening portals, casting spells, pulling truth from the unseen and laying it bare in real time. That kind of power must be protected, or it will be diluted, exploited, or stolen by people who haven't earned the right to witness it. This protection isn't about becoming closed off or emotionally unavailable. It's about discernment. Spiritual maturity teaches you that not every space is worthy of your voice. Come on now. Not every room is safe enough to carry your truth. Not every question deserves an answer. And not every confrontation is worth the energy it demands. You've got to understand your voice is a spiritual resource. And like any rare resource, It's vulnerable to depletion when not guarded properly. When you share your voice with people who only want to consume your energy, argue for the sake of ego, or mimic your message without reverence, you're giving sacred oil to those who would rather spill it than honor it. Welcome to Blended Healing. We here today. There's levels to this. I bet you didn't know the depth of it. You got to understand about protecting your voice and guard it like the sacred weapon that it is. Ashe, Ashe. Listen, you must learn the art of energetic boundary setting. That's a lot, right? EBS. That means knowing who has access to your vulnerability, who gets the raw download, who gets the edited version. Everyone isn't entitled to your process. You don't have to explain your growth to people committed to misunderstanding you. You don't have to explain your silence to those who demand access but offer no respect. You don't owe your insight to those who only come around when they're hungry for your light, but disappear when you're the one who needs covering. Protecting your voice means saying no without guilt, detaching without a monologue, and refusing to water yourself down just to keep the peace. There's also even a more subtler layer, and that's the internal protection. You see, the way you speak to yourself in your mind, right? If we keep it a buck, sometimes the person doing the most damage to you in your voice is you. That self-doubt, that overthinking, that inner critic that tells you to stay small or play it safer, to shut up, because who do you think you are? You got to protect your voice from that voice too. That ancient fear of taking up space or being seen or being too much or not enough. Healing your relationship with your own voice starts with refusing to weaponize it against yourself and your truth. That means stop being that way, man. Stop making yourself small. It means correcting yourself when you catch yourself saying, maybe I'm tripping, when deep down you already know you're right. Let's talk about it. You don't understand that you're in spiritual warfare because it's real. And when you begin to speak with power, with clarity, and unapologetic truth, forces is going to rise up to shut you up. Not just people, but energy, interference, chaos, exhaustion, sudden insecurities, confusion. It's not coincidences, man. There's no such thing. They are designed distractions because your voice is dangerous to every structure built on deception. So when you find your voice shaking, your throat closing, your tongue suddenly unsure, know that that's not a weakness. That's evidence of impact. Protect your throat. Speak life over it. Anoint it if you must. Fast if you must. Pray over it. Let no one, and I mean no one, make you question your right to speak what you've earned in blood, sweat, and silence. Protecting your voice is about integrity. It means not selling your truth for applause, not trading your authenticity for acceptance, not tailoring your message to be more digestible for people who refuse to chew solid food. Excuse me. You're not responsible for how people receive what you're divinely assigned to say. You're responsible for delivering it with honesty. and with alignment. And that's it. Speak when spirit says speak, but be silent when spirit says to wait. Don't confuse hesitation with humility. Don't confess with your mouth that you ain't even do. And absolutely don't confuse volume and value. Just because you loud talking don't mean that what you bringing to the table with your mouth has value. Some of your most powerful words will be whispered. Some of your most necessary silence will be misinterpreted. You know what I say? Let him. Your assignment is bigger than that. It's bigger than being liked. You ain't everybody's cup of tea. And at this point in your spiritual rank, your voice is no longer yours alone. It carries codes, instructions, wake-up calls, confirmations, warnings, wisdom. That's why you can't keep giving it away to conversations that go nowhere. Arguing drains you. People who clap for your downfall in secret. Oh, you know what? Man, it wouldn't be life if you didn't have haters, baby. You got to protect it. You got to love it. You got to know your worth. Your voice has the ability to shift atmospheres, awaken generations and cycles, and open portals for healing. That kind of voice needs rest. That kind of voice needs some type of routine. That kind of voice needs a life that honors its power. Don't just speak. Speak on purpose. Speak from overflow. Speak with alignment. But first, protect the source. Ashe? All right. Let's take a little break right here. Welcome back. Please like, share, and subscribe to Holistic Royalty by Kels. Sister's moving mountains, baby. She's about to go live with a whole lot of content to teach us some things that we really need to know in order to be sustainable. Ashe? All right, let's get back to it, man, because I need you to understand how you can recognize those effects of your words. So when you speak, right, with spiritual authority, it's not about claps, nods, or reposts. It's about who shifts, even when they don't realize it yet. The deepest work you do will often go unnoticed by eyes, but it will be felt in the spirit. You may walk into a room and speak truth so calmly, so clear, that you don't even register what just happened. But suddenly people are uncomfortable. They're distracted, or they're playing the avoid game. You know what I mean? That's not resistance to you. That's resistance to what you just stirred in them. And that stirring is sacred. That's what most people don't know. Your words carry layers. I told you there's levels to this, man. They don't just speak to ears, they speak to bloodlines, they speak to spiritual contracts, they speak to unhealed places people keep buried underneath their personality, their pride or projection. Your words break spells that have been sitting in silence for generations. You might just be making an observation or offering clarity and love. But the spiritual realm, you just called out something, pulled something up, ended something old, or sparked something new. Because most people aren't spiritually literate. Let's keep it a buck. They don't even know why they feel shaken. They just know that suddenly they feel seen in a way that they ain't asked for. And that kind of sight, it threatens the versions of them they've been carefully putting together in order to survive. That's why your words may get met with blank stares or somebody being defensive, confused, or even a complete shutdown. Your voice didn't just speak, it moved something. And here's the part that requires real maturity. You ready? You may never get to see what your words actually did. You may never get closure. Yeah. You may never hear what you said changed me, even if it did. The work your words are doing is often private, hidden, and carries a lot of weight. It might not manifest until years later. You might not even be in that person's life anymore when it blooms. You may have moved on, healed 10 more layers, and forgotten the moment entirely. But that one sentence, that one truth, that one time you showed up in alignment and let spirit speak through you, that lives in their system now. That shifted their DNA, altered their decision making, or cracked open something in their heart that's now leaking truth all over the lies they used to trust. That's why spiritual rank is so misunderstood. Because it doesn't rely on instant results. It's not transactional. Damn sure not theatrical. It's not concerned with how many people like what you said. It's concerned with who got shifted, what got exposed, what got broken up in the atmosphere, and who's now walking a different path because your words set a new internal compass in motion. Sometimes your voice doesn't even activate until later, when they're alone, when they hit rock bottom, when the fantasy starts falling apart, when life shows them that what you said was truth and not opinion. When that moment comes, your voice shows up again, echoing back like a map they forgot they had. Sometimes the person who needed to hear the words wasn't even the one standing in the front of you. Sometimes spirit uses your words to ripple out to someone that you never met. You said what needed to be said, and someone across the country heard it through a friend, through a phone call, through a whisper, and it hit him like divine interruption. That's how far your spiritual authority travels when it's pure. That's why you must release the need for proof. Proof is for egos. Impact is for legacies. And you're building legacy in the dark, in the quiet, in the places where souls shift and energies tremble without needing to announce themselves. That's why you feel tired after speaking sometimes. Not because you said too much, But because your spirit moved too deep, your body's catching up to what your voice just did. That's why you feel drained around people who pull on your gift but never pour back. That's why you feel heavy when your truth gets dismissed by those playing with theirs. That's also why you must rest. This kind of impact takes energy that no one sees and often no one thanks you for. That doesn't mean it's not real. It means it's sacred. So speak and don't look back. Speak and don't shrink to fit the room. Speak and don't wait for applause. Speak and let spirit finish what you started. Because the unseen effect of your voice is not yours to measure, it's spirit's to multiply. And baby, it already has. Ashe. Are you getting this? Because this is important, yo. Like for real, for real. This is some shit for your ass. I hope you getting this. I hope you getting this. I really do. I really, really do.
Body butter, shade, sage, washing off yesterday's weight, spell in the steam, peace in the flame. I call my power, speak my name. Rose quartz on my windowsill, lavender mist when I need to chill. Aura bright, no fake shine, everything I touch is by design. Sacred glow, I feel divine, every drop's a blessing by design. Soap so rich, spray so clean, burning candles while I live my dream. Crystal charge, my spirit's high, anointed oil, now watch me rise. Not just a scent, it's essential. I stay tapped in with Jamaica essentials. Oils crafted by moonlight's kiss, protection in every little drip. From the root to the crown I rise, ancestral hands all in this vibe. No mass made, this is hand poured. Every scent opens up a door. From conjure to calm, from shadow to light, Shimaka keeps my soul alive. Glow deeper, feel it unfold. Magic in the jar, ancient and bold. Every blend got a story to tell, and I wear it like a spell. Sacred glow, I feel divine. Every drop's a blessing by design. Soap so rich, spray so clean, burning candles while I live my dream. Crystal charge, my spirit's high, anointed oil, now watch me rise. Not just a scent, it's essential. I stay tapped in with Jamaica essentials. Yeah, I stay tapped in with Jamaica essentials.
Make sure y'all check out my shop on Etsy, The House of Blessings. There's a little bit of everything in there for y'all. Whether it's aromatherapy, spiritual, tools for your tool kit. You feel me? Also some knowledge in there with those books. Make sure that you tap in. Take a stroll around the store. And if you like, pick up a little something. You know what I mean? If not for you, for somebody that you love. We're going to talk about this, handling the weight of your spiritual authority. You don't just get to walk through the world like everybody else anymore. The moment that you accepted the call, right? Whether you did it loud and proud or silently through tears or broken breath, you stepped into a role that altered your entire relationship with reality. You came responsible for a kind of presence that can't be turned off. Spiritual authority, right? Doesn't clock out. You don't get to put it down when it's inconvenient. It follows you into every room, every conversation, every choice, every breath. And that weight, that responsibility, it's heavy in a way that most people around you will never understand. They'll see the light, but never feel the burn it took to carry it. They'll admire the oil, right? But never ask about the crushing to get that oil. They'll be drawn to your wisdom, but completely blind to the wilderness it was birthing. The weight of spiritual authority isn't just about power, it's about accountability. It means you're no longer allowed to ignore what you see. You can't pretend not to notice when energy is off. You can't play dumb when people are being deceptive. You can't act like you didn't hear spirit whisper that something needs to be addressed. So, even in your silence, you're working. Even in your stillness, you hold in space. Even in your rest, you're carrying atmospheres. You become the grounding force for people who don't even know that they're spiraling. You become the translator for pain that hasn't yet found language. You become the mirror for truth people have been running from for years. Most of the time, you'll do it with grace. You do it while holding your own chaos. You do it while healing in motion, wiping your tears in the dark while others come to you for the light. This is not cute. It's not glamorous. This is not that spiritual highlight reel they sell in Instagram captions. This is that gut work, shadow work, ancestor work. This is you becoming a landing strip for divine instruction while at the same time being the safe place for others to fall apart. Sometimes you do fall apart too, but privately because spiritual rank isolates you. Not because you're better, but because your sensitivity no longer fits in shallow spaces. You can't be around people who speak reckless because your ears have been tuned to truth. You can't stay long in chaos because the spirit recognizes that you're a part of the order. You can't laugh at certain things anymore. Can't fake it through certain events. Can't lower your vibration just to keep peace. You are the peace. Being that peace often means holding your center while everything around you is shaking. That's the weight. It's not the responsibility to act right. It's spiritual discipline to be right when no one is watching. It's the strength to say no when your flesh is screaming yes. It's the humility to admit when you're tired, but still show up with integrity. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the pressure of knowing people are watching how you move. And some of them are watching just to see if you fall. What they'll never understand is that you already have fallen over and over. And each time you got back up, not because you're superhuman, but because you remembered that your rank wasn't just given by man. It can be revoked by circumstance. That's why you don't move like everybody else. You've seen too much, felt too much, lost too much, and now you know what it costs to have oil and to refuse to waste it. You cried in silence so others could find their voice. You fasted not for things but for clarity. You sacrificed comfort for calling, and still you rise. Still you pour. Still you led. And the world keeps pulling from your well like it will never run dry. But let's be honest, it does run low. There are going to be days when the weight feels unbearable, when you deserve to have it replenished, when you question yourself, whether you're strong enough to hold this thing, when you wonder if anybody else sees what you carry, if anybody would notice if you dropped it at all and walked away. But something in you won't let you quit. Something ancient, something sacred, something that reminds you this isn't just your life. This is your assignment. This is your lineage, and it has power. This is your spiritual legacy in motion. The weight is not punishment, it's a crown. One that can't always be seen, but always felt. One that rests not on your head, but on your soul. One that spirit placed there with full knowledge of what you could withstand. So no, it's not easy, but it's divine. And every time you choose obedience over ease, alignment over approval, purpose over performance, you strengthen that very path that will one day carry someone else through. Because this kind of weight, it's holy. And it's the proof that you were chosen for more than applause. You were chosen for impact. That's it. I'm done. Yeah. I told you that there's levels to this, man. And I bet you didn't know the depth of it. This is some deep shit. So the next time we meet, we're going to be talking about your voice as a gateway. We got to talk about the power of your tongue. That's why I'm going in so deep about it. You don't realize the things that you do. That's why you have to watch yourself all the time. Now, don't get it twisted. I know that we get caught up in emotions and shit starts flying and our mouth is like, our mouth is flowing. But it's the point of catching yourself and pulling yourself back. That's knowledge, and that's knowing that you have more to lose than gaining more chaos. All right, I'm done. I want to thank you for stopping by Blended Healing on today. Listen, tonight, I'd rather show you than tell you. I want to see you. I want to see you here. You don't start with a storm. You start with a whisper. That whisper had been riding in the back of your chest for years. It came when you couldn't explain why the world felt off even when your bills were paid. What we are living through right now, this isn't a normal cycle. This is not politics as usual. This is not just inflation or climate or tension. This is a pressure cooker that's been heating for centuries. You didn't just wake up one day and become paranoid. You didn't start hoarding water and flashlights because you were bored. Something in your bloodline has been here before. Real faith don't walk blind. Real faith got its eyes wide open, feet grounded and its hands busy. Real faith doesn't just pray for rain, it builds irrigation systems. We pray for clarity but avoid structure. We want to be saved but not schooled. We've seen the game. We know the game. We know the way systems get rebranded and resold. We watch policies dressed up as progress. We've seen oppression served with a smile and wrapped in language that makes you feel guilty for not clapping. We are here to live well, to live free, to live rooted. We're not preserving life. We're designing legacy. We're not waiting for the smoke to clear. We're building while it rises. We're preparing in motion. We're not hoping. We're honoring strategically, spiritually, unapologetically. That's why this series exists. You ask yourself, why now? Because the clock on pretending struck midnight a long time ago, and the only reason people still playing dress up is because they think the sirens are a part of the soundtrack. And the time, it's not next season, it's not next year, it's now. What can you expect? How to protect your money, spiritual defense, food, water, and land, healing, community, moving, breathing, and praying differently. We made it this far. Now let's move it forward together. You already said yes. You already answered. You're already.
Welcome to Conversations That Protect.
Welcome to the rebirth.
Welcome to the war room.
Welcome to the blueprint.
Welcome to the moment where you finally said yes.
Let's move. And this time, we move ready.
Welcome to your journey home. Welcome to your journey home, baby. Expect the unexpected. This is the blueprint. This is a mandate. I will see you here this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'll sit down and talk to you a bit about what each episode will be about. For the most part. Like I said, expect the unexpected. It ain't your regular thing here. Collaboration over competition is in effect, baby. All right? All right. Once again, thank you for stopping by and allowing me to have this conversation with you. I want you to guard your voice like it is the sacred weapon that it is. Ashe. Pause. I almost forgot. I got something to do. And this is dedicated to my sister. This is dedicated to you, and you know who you are. All right? We have a heartfelt love you, support you, understand you. Most importantly, we hear you. And I have something for you. Resilience, battle cry. Listen, listen, listen. This is not poetry. This is not a motivational meme. This is the sound of bones grinded against destiny. This is the roar that cracks open the sky when life dares you to quit. This is soul work with blood under its fingernails. Resilience. It's war music played through broken speakers. It is the drum line of the ancestors when everybody else is silent. It is the whisper in your ear when your knees hit the dirt. Get up again. It is waking up with more cracks in your spirit, but still lacing your boots like today we ride. It's loving with broken ribs. It's building dreams out of rubble. It's trusting spirit when logic screams to let go. You want to know what resilience really is? It is digging your way out of graves they built for you. Bare hands, no shovel, no audience, no applause. It is choosing to live when death would have been easier. It is finding one clean breath in a room full of smoke and breathing it like it's holy. Resilience does not show up cute. It shows up bruised, breathless, battle-stained. It smells like smoke, salt, and survival. It's like heartbreak and hope locked in the same rib cage, beating out a rhythm called not done yet. Strength does not mean you did not break. Strength means you broke and you built yourself back into something the fire could not hold. Strength means the wolves came and you taught them to fear your howl. You want resilience? Resilience is not survival by accident. It's survival by intention. It's a blood pack you sign with your own spirit. A contract written in pain, sealed with persistence. It is the daily decision. I refuse to lay down my crown even when my hand's bleeding holding it. It's dragging your shadow into the light and saying, we heal here. We don't die here. It is telling the mirror, I see every crack. I love every scar. I carry every fall like a medal of honor. It is praying without knowing if the answer will come and moving like it already has. It's dancing barefoot across the shards of what they tried to destroy and blessing every cut, every bruise, every broken promise they thought they would bury you. It's knowing deep in your spirit that survival is not the prize. Becoming whole again is. It is protecting your light even when the world keeps throwing darkness on you. It's protecting your heart even when betrayal carves new wounds every year. It's protecting your soul even when loneliness presses against your bones. Because resilience is sacred. It's more ancient than you fear, more powerful than your enemies, more permanent than your pain. So next time they ask you why you still fight, why you still sing, why you still dream, why you still move like you royalty Even with the tears on your face, you tell them. Because my bloodline is survival. Because my spirit is rebellion wrapped in a prayer. Because my roots drink from rivers that cannot be poisoned. You tell them. I am storm-born. I am war-tested. I am spirit-protected. I'm still here. And being here is the most dangerous thing you could ever do to everything that tried to kill you. This is resilience. Loud, sacred, dangerous, untouchable, unshakable, unfolding, and unbreakable. Ashe.